Ukrainian drones attacked Russia's Kirshi oil refinery in the northwest Leningrad region, an official said, adding that debris from the shot-down drones sparked a fire.
Breaking news coming in, viewers. Poland has once again scrambled its fighter jets. And this is happening after Ukraine says Russia launched a major attack on Kiev and other cities.
The war in Ukraine has entered its fourth year, transforming from what many initially expected to be a short campaign into a protracted, grinding conflict with wide-ranging global consequences. As of September 27, 2025, the battlefield remains fluid, the political landscape unsettled, and the humanitarian situation precarious. This report presents a comprehensive overview of recent breaking developments, a detailed analysis of the operational and strategic context, and a forward-looking assessment of likely trajectories. With a length of approximately 4,000 words, it aims to provide a structured and substantive briefing for readers seeking both factual updates and deeper understanding. Ukraine's armed forces currently face a 1,250-kilometer-long front line stretching from Kharkiv in the northeast to Kherson in the south. This immense line of contact demands resources that Ukraine, despite massive Western support, struggles to sustain. Russia's strategy increasingly emphasizes infiltration teams and decentralized harassment tactics. Small mobile units of 4 to 6 soldiers designed to probe, destabilize, and exhaust Ukrainian defenses. This shift reflects both Russian adaptability and the limitations of large-scale offensive operations, which have yielded high casualties and limited territorial gains. The number of daily engagements remains staggering. According to Ukrainian General Staff reports, clashes routinely exceed 100 skirmishes per day. Artillery continues to play a decisive role, with Russia using both traditional tube artillery and precision-guided systems, while Ukraine relies heavily on Western-supplied counter-battery radars and advanced shells. The prevalence of drones for reconnaissance, artillery spotting, and loitering munitions has made the sky over the battlefield a constant arena of contest. Though major territorial shifts have been limited in recent months, both sides continue to contest key towns and logistics hubs. Russia pushes in Donetsk Oblast near Avdiivka and Marinka, while Ukraine continues limited counterattacks near Robotyne and in the direction of Melitopol. Neither side currently possesses the decisive advantage required for breakthrough, producing a war of attrition rather than maneuver. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, ZNPP, Europe's largest, has once again lost connection to Ukraine's external grid. For multiple consecutive days, the facility has depended on emergency diesel generators. This is not the first such incident, but the recurrence highlights systemic risks. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, has raised alarm, stressing that backup diesel supplies are not designed for long-term operation. Each outage underscores the plant's vulnerability as equipment wear and logistical difficulties compound risks. Control of the ZNPP offers Russia both leverage and a shield. The plant sits on occupied territory, and Moscow has integrated it into Russia's power grid while simultaneously blocking Ukrainian access. By weaponizing nuclear infrastructure, Russia seeks both a deterrent effect, discouraging Ukrainian strikes near the site, and a propaganda tool, portraying itself as the guardian of nuclear safety even as its actions endanger stability. The IAEA has repeatedly requested unfettered access and security guarantees. Kiev accuses Moscow of nuclear blackmail, while Russia insists it is ensuring safety under difficult wartime conditions. The European Union and United Nations Security Council have convened emergency meetings, yet concrete solutions remain elusive. The crisis amplifies pressure on Western capitals to consider nuclear safety not just a Ukrainian problem, but a pan-European security priority. The United States recently approved the first weapons shipments under the Prioritized Ukraine Requirements List, PURL. This system allows Ukraine to identify critical needs, after which allied nations coordinate procurement and transfer. The mechanism is designed to streamline deliveries, avoid duplication, and accelerate timelines, a response to past criticism of fragmented, delayed aid. Early Pearl-approved shipments include air defense interceptors, counter-drone systems, and artillery ammunition. These items reflect urgent battlefield realities. Russia's drone campaign targets Ukrainian energy infrastructure, while artillery exchanges remain central to daily combat. However, questions remain about the scale and sustainability of deliveries. Critics warn that unless shipments are large and regular, Ukraine may face ammunition shortfalls by winter. Western support is not unlimited. In the U.S., congressional debates over budget priorities delay some appropriations. In Europe, fatigue grows amid economic pressures. Even Poland, once one of Kiev's staunchest backers, has expressed concern over domestic economic strain. The PURL mechanism is thus both a technical solution and a political gamble. It relies on continued willpower from donor states. Russia's leadership appears committed to a long war of attrition. Rather than seeking quick territorial gains, Moscow now emphasizes exhausting Ukrainian manpower and Western patience. High-intensity drone and missile strikes against infrastructure, combined with infiltration tactics along the front line, serve this purpose. While large-scale mobilizations like those of 2022 have not been repeated, Russia continues silent mobilization, recruiting contract soldiers, and offering financial incentives. Despite rising casualties, the Kremlin maintains domestic stability through censorship, repression, and selective economic benefits. Yet cracks remain, discontent in regions disproportionately supplying soldiers, and economic strains from sanctions. Belarus's recent proposal to construct a new nuclear plant designed to feed occupied Ukrainian territories signals Russia's intent to deepen nuclear energy leverage. Energy infrastructure remains a weapon. From targeted strikes against Ukraine's grid to efforts at destabilizing European energy markets. The Kremlin hopes that mounting costs will erode Western resolve. Ukraine's military strategy has shifted from high-profile counteroffensives to defense in depth and attritional tactics. Fortified lines, minefields, and precision strikes on Russian logistics aim to slow and bleed enemy advances. Commanders acknowledge the challenge of maintaining manpower, particularly as the war stretches into its fourth year. Ukraine has increased its use of long-range strike capabilities against Russian territory, including deep inside Belgorod, Bryansk, and Kursk oblasts. These strikes target supply depots, command centers, and air bases, forcing Russia to disperse logistics and complicating its planning. However, such actions risk escalation, especially if civilian casualties mount. Despite relentless bombardment, Ukrainian society has demonstrated remarkable resilience. Civilian infrastructure is repaired rapidly, often within days. Public opinion remains firm in opposition to territorial concessions. Yet fatigue is real. Emigration continues, birth rates have dropped, and cities live under constant threat of blackouts and attacks. Belarus remains Moscow's closest ally, providing logistical and training support. Its nuclear plant proposal highlights the integration of Belarus into Russia's energy strategy. While Belarusian troops have not directly entered combat in Ukraine, the possibility of escalation persists. China positions itself as a neutral mediator while quietly deepening trade with Russia. Chinese drones and dual-use technologies often find their way to Russian forces through intermediaries. Beijing benefits from cheap Russian energy while avoiding full confrontation with the West. For Ukraine, China's ambiguous stance limits the effectiveness of sanctions. Many nations in Africa, Asia, and Latin America remain reluctant to condemn Russia outright. Moscow capitalizes on this ambivalence through grain diplomacy, offering discounted grain and fertilizer. Ukraine counters with its Black Sea export initiative, though Russian attacks on port facilities in Odessa have repeatedly disrupted shipments. Western sanctions continue to constrain Russia's access to technology and finance, but Moscow has adapted through parallel imports and trade with non-Western partners. Energy revenues, though reduced, still provide lifelines. Inflation remains high, and long-term structural decline appears inevitable. But short-term resilience blunts Western hopes of quick collapse. Ukraine faces immense reconstruction costs, estimated at over $500 billion. Blackouts, infrastructure damage, and population loss exacerbate the situation. Nevertheless, Western financial aid and IMF loans keep the economy afloat. Agricultural exports, though disrupted, remain a critical source of income. Civilian casualties continue to rise, with thousands killed or injured in 2025 alone. Millions remain displaced, either internally or abroad. Schools, hospitals, and homes have been repeatedly hit. Humanitarian organizations warn of a potential winter crisis if energy shortages deepen. Yet volunteer networks inside Ukraine continue to play a vital role, showcasing grassroots resilience. In the coming months, Russia is expected to continue heavy use of drone and missile strikes against Ukraine's energy infrastructure. The goal is to sap civilian morale, strain air defense systems, and push Ukraine into recurring blackouts. Ukrainian authorities will depend on Western-supplied generators and transformers to keep critical services running, but shortages are inevitable. On the ground, neither side is positioned for a major breakthrough. Russia will likely push for incremental gains in Donetsk, while Ukraine carries out selective counterattacks designed to disrupt logistics rather than retake large territories. The battlefield will remain attritional and largely static. Over the next year, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant will remain a potential flashpoint. Repeated power outages or an accident could trigger escalation in international pressure. Russia may also announce renewed mobilization if casualties rise, signaling intent to sustain the war long term. Western aid will be decisive. Steady flows will help Ukraine endure, while political fatigue in donor states could undermine its defenses. During this period, Ukraine will prioritize stronger fortifications and make greater use of long-range strikes against Russian depots and command centers, aiming to weaken logistics and prevent Moscow from consolidating battlefield advantages. In the long run, neither Russia nor Ukraine appears capable of achieving decisive victory. Attrition, manpower shortages, and logistical strains lock both sides into a protracted stalemate. A frozen conflict becomes increasingly likely. Front lines may harden without a peace settlement, leaving Ukraine with contested territories and Russia with unresolved ambitions. Such an outcome mirrors unresolved post-Soviet conflicts, prolonging instability. Nuclear safety, energy blackmail, and humanitarian endurance will remain defining features. Zaporizhzhia's precarious state and Russia's weaponization of energy ensure ongoing risks, while Ukraine's population must withstand the humanitarian toll of displacement, casualties, and economic hardship for years ahead. The Ukraine conflict in late September 2025 is characterized by attrition, resilience, and uncertainty. The latest developments, from Zaporizhzhia's precarious nuclear safety to the evolution of Western aid under the Pearl mechanism, highlight both immediate dangers and structural challenges. Russia bets on time, attrition, and global fatigue. Ukraine relies on resilience, Western support, and technological adaptation. The humanitarian toll mounts as winter approaches, while international actors struggle to balance support with their own domestic constraints. At its core, this war has become more than a battle over territory. It is a test of endurance, willpower, and the ability of international systems to respond to prolonged crisis. The coming months will not bring resolution, but they will reveal whether Ukraine's allies can maintain cohesion and whether Russia can sustain its strategy of grinding pressure. The stakes for Ukraine, for Europe, and for global stability remain immense. If you found this analysis useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates.